Paris, chérie, mon beau Paris, c'est toujours toi que j'aime.
Hello there and welcome to Paris Set Me Free photo video tutorials with me, Seb Will. Visit the site at parissetmefree.com to see all my photos. Also the blog at paris-photos.parissetmefree.com. Look where I am today. Do you know? This photograph is, you might find it's a bit strange. Well, it's overexposed. This is one of the ones which I didn't use, and but it's very, very interesting because when you're wandering around this area, as I often do, because this is where my most popular photo tour is, you often see new street artists who have done something, and all of a sudden they've found some sort of theme. This guy, it's a mask of, I guess it's him. It's an extremely realistic facial mask. It must be a cast on his face, because when you look up closely you can see all the folds in the eyelids and the buds on his tongue and all that sort of stuff. Quite eerie, to be honest. And they're peppered all over the place. All over what place? All over this place. Here we go, Paris. Let's head up to the north. I'm going to zoom in there. There, I've zoomed a bit too far. I'm now lost. Where am I? 18th arrondissement. That looks good. Basilique du Sacré-Cœur. Moving in, and I'm looking for this metro station here. There it is, Abbesse. Right, and it's right here, this one. This is where I normally meet for my photo tours, and there we are. Right, I'm going to go down to street level, and you can see where I am, I hope. Okay, this is where I start my photo tours. There's a very interesting church there. I normally meet by Abbesse metro station, which you can see. Is it going to snap into focus? Well, it's just here, and it's not going to snap into focus. And there's a very nice roundabout, merry-go-round, carousel. Now I'm just going to head down Rue des Abbesses a little bit and see. I bet you we won't actually. What's going on? Oh, there we go. Taking a bit of time. We won't actually see this mask because, no doubt, it wasn't there when this video was taken. I'm going to try and head further down this thing because it's taking a bit of a while. Just enjoy the nice zooming effects, won't you, folks? Courtesy of Google Maps. Right, now this was on a little passage which I generally go down. Oh, it's gone all dark. Must have been night time on this one. Just talk amongst yourselves, will you? There we are, and yes, it's going to be okay. Right, this is a cafe where I often have a coffee, believe it or not, and a croissant. And here is a little passage. My internet connection must be on. Here's a little passage just there, and that's where this thing is. So this has been one of the most uninteresting videos I've ever shot so far, I think. There we are. And on the edge of this wall here, on both sides, on there and on there, was this thing. Right, so that's actually on one of the edges. Now this one was violently overexposed. Why? Because obviously, well, actually, I discovered why. Because I had set my automatic exposure thing to be taking the exposure from the very center of the camera, and it took me ages to work out what was going wrong. All my shots were overexposed or underexposed, depending on whether the tiny little bit of the middle was focused on something really dark or something really light. Hey, even the best of us can mess things up sometimes. Right, here's another one. I think I'd realized that things were going seriously wrong. Now that's all very well, isn't it? It's wonderful. It's this guy's artwork, you know. Well done, Mr. Man, who produced these wonderful masks. And as I said again before, and I'll say it again, they really are wonderful because they really are his face. You can see every wrinkle in his eyelid, every taste bud on his tongue. It's quite spooky. Now what's missing here? That's right, interaction. Interaction with someone, something, a human being. What we need is not just to take a picture of this, because it's just a picture of somebody else's art. What have I added to that photograph by taking a photograph of this guy? Nothing. But you can do something. You can try and get it to interact with something else. What am I trying to get it to interact with? Well, human beings. The only human beings that I can get it to interact with without actually asking someone to pose there is ones who are going past. Here's my first attempt, but it's a bit of a mess, you see. There's someone behind, there's someone there, there's a push chair, there's a boring supermarket bag. That is not much of an interaction. Although this person is looking, but for all I know, they may be looking at me, thinking, why is he taking my photograph, or just as much as they might be looking at that. So for me, that's not good enough. Plus it's overexposed. Okay, here's the next one, and I think it's the last one. Let's see. No, there was one more. All right, so there's my last two shots, and I have to admit, I asked my client, Melanie from New York, thanks Mel, to walk past. You know, you can see her camera there, a Canon lady, and she's just looking out of it, looking at the corner of her eye. You can tell she's looking because look, she's got a smile. And she's got a little glitter in her eye, and that's enough to make you think that she's looking at that the mask is what's making her smile, and the cheeky tongue sticking out. There was one more. I asked her to do it again, but look, it's not quite as good, is it? Because she's looking, but there isn't that. I mean, basically, it's funny, and she's not smiling. She's looking, and it's darker. It was underexposed this time. See how well I was doing? And there it's overexposed. So let's see which one I chose in the end. I chose this one. Now I believe that's the one that was too light. Have I managed to bring it down? Let's see if it's the same photograph. Is it? Is that the same photograph as? I'm not convinced it is actually. Maybe I deleted the. Let's have a look again. Yeah, I think it is actually. But I mean, my goodness, look what I've managed to do. I won't go into the boring details of how, but I've actually managed to turn that into that by the looks of it. We'll see. I'm not sure if I have or not. But anyway, there it is. That's the photograph that I ended up with, and I like it. I like it a lot. It's funny. You know, what have I done? Well, this is obviously in focus, so I focused on this guy. She's a fuzz, but she's not fuzzy enough that I can't see that she's looking over out of the corner of her eye and having a bit of a giggle at this funny thing. I almost seem to be invisible to her, which is marvellous. That's what I want. I don't want people interacting with me. I want them interacting with other things. I'm supposed to be invisible. You're supposed to be seeing what I saw through my eyes and through my camera lens, not seeing someone looking at me. That's the way I look at it anyway, unless I'm specifically taking self-portraits or portraits. So I kind of feel that that's done quite well. Okay, I asked her to do it. I very rarely ask people to be in my shots, but sometimes it's valid, and why not? And also it makes your photo tour a bit more interesting for your client, doesn't it? She had fun doing that. She took one of me as well in the same thing. So we worked on trying to get this guy sharp, not that car, which is pretty horrendous. You've just about got an atmospheric French cafe in the background, haven't you? It's not fuzzy enough that you don't know what it is, and it's quite nice. So that's my photo for this time. Thanks for watching. Visit again. I'm getting pretty productive at the moment, so there'll be plenty more videos coming out. I've just started a new blog. I'll tell you what it is, and it's linked to from the Paris Set Me Free blog, the blog that you can find at paris-photos.parissetmefree.com. At the top right of that is actually a couple of blogs, new ones. I'll tell you about those in a future video, and one of them specifically about taking photographs with a certain new camera that I've got. Okay, thanks for visiting, and see you next time. Bye bye now.
Depuis que je suis à Paris, le jour et la nuit, je suis gris. J'ai compris la douceur de vivre. Je suis fou de joie, je suis ivre. Depuis que je suis à Paris.